Dakota hole. First, you dig yourself a large hole, as much as sort of 3 feet or a metre, and then you dig a smaller hole, same depth, quite near it. That's where your chimney's going to be. And what you then have to do is make a tunnel linking the two up. You can then build up the sides of your Dakota hole with the material that you've dug out of it. Okay, so once this fire dies down a little bit and becomes properly established, what will happen is the fire will stay completely contained in the larger hole, below ground level, keeping it hidden from pretty much all around you. The smaller hole will allow airflow to get in and also act as a kind of chimney. Some of the advantages of this fire is it requires very little fuel. Because it's so well contained, you can use small amounts of fuel and it stays incredibly hot for quite a long period of time. You'll also build up a very good bed of ground embers. It's an excellent fire for cooking over the top of. You can dry clothes with it. It keeps you quite warm if you stand quite near the hole. It's incredibly safe as a fire, as long as the ground isn't made of something that's ignitable, like peat or roots or something like that. And as long as you don't dig down to a water table, this is an excellent fire. It's particularly good as well if you want to keep a fairly low profile for some reason. Say for example you were in a a large expanse, a large area. You didn't want to attract the attention of, be it wildlife or people, for whatever reason. You're on a large grassy plain, a beach, a desert, somewhere like that where there's, you know, big horizons, not a lot of cover. It doesn't put out very much smoke. So once it establishes itself and the moisture burns away and there's not a lot of smoke, the light from the fire will be contained within the hole, more or less. The flame itself will be contained within the hole. So anybody on a distant horizon, looking across that horizon, won't see this fire. Some of the cons of this fire are the fact that it requires a bit of work. You have to dig 2 holes. I didn't dig them in the best of places. It'd be a lot better if you dug it somewhere where it was easier ground to dig in, let's say. But if you were going to be in an area for an established period of time, or if you were going to be in an area for an extended period of time, and you wanted to keep a fairly low profile and use as little fuel as possible, this is a good fire construction technique. Now you can see, even at this stage, this is actually a fairly large fire. And yet, at the moment, all you can see is the top half of the fire. Tiny little bit of it, and that'll die down. An incredibly easy fire to control because it's in the hole, and very easy to feed. Fire's still pretty large. There's pretty much no smoke, and it's almost entirely covered apart from just a few licks of flames above the hole. And I'm only, you know, 3 or 4 meters away from the fire. From much further away, it'd be incredibly difficult to see this. From any significant distance, you wouldn't see this fire at all. Maybe a slight orange glow at night. Here's a prime example of when fires like this are actually quite good to use. Even though that train was up on the embankment, I'm pretty certain that nobody in that train would have been able to see this fire. Apart from the fact that there's no smoke. I mean, from here, I can barely even see that there's a flame. Of course, if you're looking at it from above, you'll be able to see the flame, but... Okay, so from this stage, I can't see any flame at all now, and just a little bit of smoke. But you can see you've got a pretty decent bed of embers there, and some flame.